In a world brimming with hidden meanings and unseen forces, he had a gift, or perhaps a curse. Above every person, floating silently, were small flags that only he could see. They weren't physical objects, but symbols, revealing glimpses of their decisions, relationships, and futures. He had spent years decoding these flags, treating them like pieces of a vast, intricate puzzle. Yet, for all his understanding, one question haunted him. Could fate really be changed? In the faint light coming from Joe's office, Theo could make out large patterns of color, faint shapes that felt like parts of people. The answer felt closer than ever when she appeared, a girl whose very existence defied his ability. It was during the first week of school when she entered his life. She walked into the room like a gentle breeze, her presence unassuming yet oddly magnetic. But what truly caught his attention wasn't her demeanor, it was what she lacked. No flag. His eyes narrowed as he studied her. It wasn't possible. Everyone had a flag, from the most insignificant stranger to his closest friends. Yet, above her head, there was only emptiness. Vishenor cautioned her that something else was going on beneath the surface, other than local traffic. "No, you've been staring," she said, catching him off guard. He quickly looked away, muttering an apology, but curiosity gnawed at him. Who was she, and why was she different? Determined to understand, he began observing her more closely. She wasn't extraordinary in the typical sense, no exaggerated charm or dramatic flair. Yet, there was something otherworldly about her, as though she existed just slightly out of sync with reality. One day, as they walked home together, he finally broke his silence. "Have you ever felt different from others?" Her laughter was soft but genuine. "What kind of question is that?" He hesitated. "I mean, like you're part of something bigger, but you don't know what it is." "Okay." Her smile faded, replaced by a thoughtful expression. "Maybe, but doesn't everyone feel that way sometimes?" Her response only deepened his intrigue. Could she really be unaware of her uniqueness? Life continued, and though she remained an enigma, he began to enjoy her presence. She brought a sense of calm to his chaotic thoughts. But that peace was shattered the day he saw a black flag appear above someone in their class. The flag was dark and flickering, as though signaling a grim warning. He'd seen flags like this only a handful of times before, and they always preceded disaster. Sure enough, the next day he learned that the student had been injured in an accident. A chill ran through him. If these flags predicted danger, then what did her lack of a flag mean? Weeks later, his worst fears came true. One morning as they walked to school, a black flag appeared on the schoolhouse. He drew her attention with a glare at the flag, but Jennifer was focused on watching the video. Without warning, the video blacked out, apparently by shock. His breath caught in his throat. He couldn't believe it. The girl who defied his ability now bore the darkest symbol of all. "What's wrong?" she asked, noticing his pale face. He hesitated, unsure whether to tell her. "Nothing," he lied, forcing a smile. But inside, he was panicking. The flags were never wrong. Determined to protect her, he threw himself into uncovering the truth. He revisited memories of past flags, piecing together patterns and searching for clues. If he had changed someone else's fate before, why couldn't he do it again? But with every answer he found, new questions arose. Why had she been flagless for so long? And why had the black flag chosen her now? One night he confronted her directly. "Do you ever feel like you don't belong here?" he asked. "But isn't that what makes life interesting?" Her response frustrated him. Was she hiding something? Or was she truly at peace with whatever lay ahead? As the days passed, he began to notice something strange. The flags of people around her seemed to react whenever she was near, their colors shifting subtly. It was as though she had some unseen influence over their lives. Could that be the reason for her missing flag? Was she an anomaly in the system, existing outside the rules that governed everyone else? The realization both fascinated and terrified him. If she wasn't bound by the same fate as others, could he even change her future? Or was she destined for something far beyond his control? The day he had been dreading arrived. The black flag above her head flickered ominously, its intensity growing. He felt powerless, yet he couldn't give up. As they walked together after school, he stayed close, scanning their surroundings for any signs of danger. But the streets were quiet, the air heavy with anticipation. She stopped suddenly and turned to him. "You've been so worried about me," she said softly. "But maybe it's not me you need to save." Her words froze him in place. Before he could respond, a sudden noise broke the silence, a car speeding around the corner, heading straight for them. Without thinking, he pushed her out of the way. The world blurred, and for a brief moment, he felt the weight of every flag he had ever seen. Choices, consequences, futures. When he opened his eyes, she was kneeling beside him, tears streaming down her face. "Why would you do that?" she whispered. "Aren't you bleeding?" she said. As the black flag above her disappeared, he realized that perhaps his gift wasn't about predicting the future. It was about understanding the choices that define us.